by descriptive knowledge?
What is,
What is or was, so the sciences basically, okay? I want to remind you that some people will say that some of the sciences, like history, some people will call those humanities. I don't. I put them as social sciences, like political science is a science. All right. So here's a good example of a distinction. A political science professor may be in the descriptive domain, but a person who specializes in public administration, local government, they work in local government, okay, like city managers, librarians, and all that. They may have studied political science from the point of view of how they're going to make it work in local government. Those are, what domain do they belong in? If they're working at it. Praxeological. Praxeological meaning practice. That's a good way to think of it. So somebody who studies biology as a biological science would be a what? Descriptive, right? But somebody who works as a registered nurse with a foundation in biology would be a what? Praxeologist, okay? All right. What do we mean by formal knowledge? Structured thinking, and it would be, give me an example of that.
theology? Like a theology?
I mean, they have structure.
Like math.
Math, linguistics, logic, very rigid thinking. Very rigid orientation to thinking. All right. Give me, what are the prescriptive fields? Give me examples of prescriptive fields. Yes, Bailey?
The arts.
The arts. What else?
Philosophy,
Philosophy,
theology.
theology. Those are really the kind of the theme you want to look at is what are the fields that teach me how to live my life, that suggest how I should live my life. Everybody know what I'm talking about, right? The arts do that. And the arts, you used to do a lot of dance and things like that in the churches because the people didn't understand. So by doing the plays, they could understand. Why do we call some of the artwork we see in churches as the poor man's Bible? Yes.
Because a lot of people back then didn't read,
Yeah.
so that's how they understood the different Bible stories.
By the paintings or drawings or the reliefs on doors, right? Okay. All right. Now this is going to be important. This is try to be thinking about all these different domains because you might get cases where you read a scenario and a person goes from one field to the next. At one point in their life they're in one field, at one point in their life they're in another. The practice test that I gave you, it's in your, I think it's in your study guide section. That maybe way back when you had that. And then we had a test on that. So look at that practice test. That'll help you understand the kind of question you might get to. All right. What does the term attitude mean? What is its definition?
Sounds like ABC or CAB.
Well, those are ways we describe attitudes. But what does the term attitude itself mean? Used to mean posture of the body. In fact, I think in aircraft, we still talk about an aircraft's attitude. Its angle on things. Is that right? I don't know much about aircraft. And you do that too when your cars go flying and you're racing?
No, I mean,
You just know it. Okay. So, attitude used to mean posture of the body, and now one of the ways it's defined by some social psychologists is posture of the mind. What's the posture of the mind towards something? What angle is it taking on things? That should be very simple to you. somebody in, remember the Titans where we saw a kind of posture of the mind and how it changed? Yes,
Sunshine,
explain.
because when he came in, he was just like a low-key, easygoing guy, and then he was called upon to be a quarterback, and he got serious and helped like lead his team, you know?
Real quickly, right? That's a really good example, because that's a little more subtle, how he changes. His posture of how the angle he took on things, all right, changed. What about Gary's mother? I don't want to get to know him. Remember that? And then she changed. Julius, he's the only one he wants to see. Remember that when Gary was in the hospital? Her whole mind changed, her attitude or her angle on things. All right, now, we had, Devon, you said ABC or CAB. What does that mean?
It's like the different ways that you can like judge an attitude based on behavior, cognizance, and something that starts with A.
All right, so somebody tells you they really want to be involved, you've got skits on. So you really want to be involved in your skit, okay? I really want to be involved. Well, that's cognitive, isn't it? And they're saying it. How will you know, how will you increase the probability that you're right about what they say really is what they mean? What can you look for? Their behavior. They get there and they're participating a lot, right? And if somebody else doesn't participate, if that person gets real upset and says, look,